It's no secret, Raging Bolt is a super popular and super powerful deck, but when you add the element of poison to it, oh my god, it elevates it to another level. So today, we are going to combine Pecharunt and Perilous Jungle with Raging Bolt EX.
I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble.
Now this deck list is a carbon copy of a deck list that just took first place in a city league in Japan, and oh my god, when you guys see this, you're gonna understand exactly why it took first place. With Secret Box as the ace bet, grabbing one item, one tool, one supporter, and one stadium card. If you go first, right, you can grab Perilous Jungle, Ancient Booster Capsule, a Nest Ball for Brute Bonnet or Latias, get the Brute Bonnet into play, poison the active Pokemon, play Pecharunt, move it into the active, and then with Perilous Jungle, you're doing 70 total damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if you go first and you can Squawk and Seize, Carmine, or Secret Box into all of those components, you can take a donk on your opponent before they even get a single turn. It is so freaking cool. And then if you can't do that, of course, you have Raging Bolt with Bellowing Thunder as a one-hit KO deck doing, you know, upwards of 310 damage. It's just so freaking cool to see, and I cannot wait to show this off to you guys. So let's get into some games and see how it plays. Guys, here we are going first, and our start is brilliant. It is brilliant. If only we were going up against a 70 HP Pokemon. I cannot believe. Oh, bro, it was almost perfect. It was almost the single greatest start we could have ever had. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and get rid of some of our cards here. We're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball these two away for the old Squawkabilly here. Probably shouldn't be getting that because we do have the Carmine in hand. I mean, I probably should have just gone for a standard Raging Bolt, but you know what? I just want to see more of my deck just in case. Ooh, we do have the Sadas. Now I'm absolutely regretting putting that down because we don't have a Raging Bolt or a Teal Mask Ogerpon in play. So you know what? Yeah, we're just going to have to go ahead and Squawk and Seize here. That sucks. I didn't want to get rid of a Sada, but we do have a Pal Pad for a reason. And, bro, we still... Ooh... Yeah, how do we still whiff that? Okay, you know what? Whatever, let's just play Pokégear here, and we do get an Iono for next turn. I would have appreciated a Sada's there, but that's just not happening. So let's go ahead and Toxic Powder the active. At least we're putting 8 damage counters on our opponent's Teal Mask Ogerpon. That is the only silver lining that we've got, but we're just going to go ahead and end turn. All right. That feels kind of painful, but as you can see, that's that build up to doing that 70 damage and taking those, you know, one-hit knockouts. And it's a freaking mirror deck! Oh my god, we're playing against another Raging Bolt! Except they're playing it much better than we are. But man, that's really, really funny. So I wonder if they're playing like standard Raging Bolt or if they're running the Noctowl engine. I'm gonna assume they're not. Because I would have Nest Balled for Fan Rotom there. But they do Squawk and Seize away a Boss's Orders and an Earthen Vessel, which I'm totally okay with seeing. But they didn't get any energy in the discard, so we're not looking at a Sada's... Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. There we go. Earthen Vessel away the Ultra Ball. They play another Earthen Vessel. Wow. Okay, that was a great Squawk and Seize as compared to ours. Not to mention, they also have the Sada in hand. Okay, so now they can absolutely knock out the Pecharunt, and we... I mean, don't have anything. And they do have the Bravery Charm. Alright, so we don't have any Pokemon in play to respond with a big KO here. We would have to roll into Raging Bolt, 2 Teal Mask Ogerpon, Sada. Yeah, there's a lot we need to do here. They do retreat the Teal Mask Ogerpon into the Raging Bolt EX, and here comes an easy knockout. Down goes Pecharunt, and sadly, dude, even Perilous Jungle... Well, actually, no, Perilous Jungle does work here because Bravery Charm... Oh, they're using Bravery Charms, not Ancient Booster Capsules. I gotta remember that. So, in a sense, we're doing an additional 30 damage, which is really nice. Oh my god, and we do get Secret Box. So let's go ahead and play the Secret Box. We'll get rid of... yeah, I feel like we just need to get rid of the Iono here. And you know what we can do? Oh, we would have to grab Sada's Nest Ball. We don't need a Pal Pad, but our tool, we would need... yeah, I don't think there's a really good way to make this work. Maybe a Night Stretcher? Yep, that's about all we can do here. So we're just going to go ahead and play the Nest Ball, and I really want to grab Fezandipiti here and roll into maybe Raging Bolt and Teal Mask, but that still wouldn't accelerate enough energy into play for us to get rid of. I mean, I guess it could. Yeah, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's go ahead and just grab Fezandipiti here. And I, again, don't know if this is the right answer, but we're going to find out. Let's go ahead and flip the script. Grab me. There's a couple of other pieces, man. I like that. But we still don't have Ooh, yeah, we still don't have a Teal Mask Ogerpon into play to accelerate more energy. So maybe if we Sadas right now, we might get lucky. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and Professor Sada. We'll accelerate the fighting here and the lightning here. And give me... Oh, we do get an Ultra Ball. Okay, so that's actually much better than what I thought we were going to get. I don't want to play the Earthen Vessel here right now, though. So we'll go ahead and Ultra Ball away the Ancient Booster Capsule and the Perilous Jungle. We can play Teal Mask Ogerpon. Now, question is, are we doing enough damage? One thing I do want to do, though, is I want to Toxic Powder the active real quick. That way we can retreat the Latias and we can go ahead and go into Raging Bolt EX. I just want to make sure we're not going to fall too short of the knockout here. But yeah, let's go ahead and Teal Dance. I do need to play a Penny. If I can get a Penny here, that would be pretty awesome. Yeah, let's go ahead and Earthen Vessel away this fighting energy and check our deck. Yep, we still have Penny, so we can actually go for the Penny play later, but I need to attach energy here. Ooh, okay, so we're doing a total of 280 damage. We are taking the knockout. We would not be taking the knockout if we did not have that additional poison. So this is a really, really big knockout we're taking right here. And there we go, 280 damage, man. And check this out, because they're dying of poison, Fezandipiti is not active, but they do have a really big hand here. So that's kind of the other problem we are running into. And, ooh, we do get a Teal Mask Ogerpon and a Boss's Order. So, yeah, I want a Pokégear here into a Sada, because without a Sada, we are not going to get the knockout next turn. Our opponent pops the Teal Dance. They have to play the Sada early. It doesn't look like they have anything. They attach energy to the active, they play Ultra Ball, and they get rid of, was that Pokégear and Energy Retrieval? I think that's exactly what it was. And they grab another Teal Mask Ogerpon. Okay, so yeah, now since we didn't have an Ancient Booster Capsule attached, they are going to be able to respond with a 2-hit KO on our Raging Bolt. But again, we can just go for the whole poison, go back into Raging Bolt, take the knockout. And there they go, Bellowing Thunder for the knockout. They have to get rid of all of their energy in play here. Now, we do have the Boss's Order in hand if we can't accelerate, or if we can't roll into a Sada here. But let's go ahead and just go into the old Fezandipiti. We have plenty of cards in hand. With a Pokégear, we should be able to get the Sada. And there is the Nest Ball, first and foremost, for Raging Bolt EX. We'll go ahead and grab that real quick. And I think I'm going to roll the Pokégear here for, boom, baby, Sada. That's exactly what we were looking for. And we have the Grass Energy in hand. So, you know, let's go ahead and pop the Teal Dance first. And then we'll roll into a little flip the script here, see if we can get, you know, the old Energy Retrieval. We do get another Nest Ball. Not what I'm looking for, but yeah, let's start with flip the script. Roll me into something. We do get the Energy Retrieval. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's go ahead and Toxic Powder the active. And because we know that we are going to go into Raging Bolt here, let's do just that. So let's go ahead and play the Professor Sada, accelerate Fighting Energy to Raging Bolt, and we'll accelerate a Lightning Energy to the Brute Bonnet, because we do have the Lightning Energy in hand. And we can go ahead and play the Pal Pad here and grab back to Professor Sada's. Woo! Dude, I love it when a deck runs smooth. Oh, and our opponent just concedes, bro. They know it's going to happen. They know it was going down. That is awesome, man. That extra poison damage got us to that 290 bump when it didn't even activate Fezandipiti, which is so much better. All right, here we are going first, and our start is, I mean, it's not too bad, right? We do have a couple of pieces here that we need to, I mean, not donk, but to actually take out the Ditto. So let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away these two guys here. I feel like we need to get Brute Bonnet here instead of Latias. I think that's what we're going to try and do, right? I probably shouldn't try to go for this donk, but I feel like that is, I don't know, I feel like it'll be interesting, right? It's just for, it's for the content, really. But let's go ahead and Squawk and Seize the Sadas, and oh my god, we do get Secret Box, bro. Look at that. So we get the tool, and we get Teal Mask Ogerpon. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play down the Teal Mask Ogerpon here, and then I will play Secret Box and get rid of, what do I want to get rid of? I think I'm just going to have to get rid of these three. That way we can at least get the Nest Ball to play Latias. So we can go ahead and grab Nest Ball, Ancient Booster Capsule, Sada, and Perilous Jungle. And maybe I should have grabbed an Earthen Vessel there, because we do have the Latias in hand. But, I mean, who cares? Or, excuse me, maybe we should have grabbed, well, let's see. No, we have the Nest Balls. We can get the Raging Bolts here. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, right? I think there's so much going on that I'm a tad bit confused. But it's okay. It's no big deal. You want to know why? Because we are knocking out the Ditto in the active, man. All we got to do, pass. Boom, baby. We're so good, bro. Look at that, man. If they did not have anything on their bench, we would have just won the game right there. And our prize, bro, is a grass energy. Perfect. That just Teal Dance right there. Then we can Sada back the energy onto Raging Bolt and Brute Bonnet. Yeah, that, bro, perfect, man. This deck just, it cruises. And with Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, they're only going to take out Pecharunt here. Bro, our opponent plays the Area 0 and they just pass. They can't do anything else. And we do get Energy Retrieval. So you know what? Let's go ahead and just Teal Dance here first and foremost. And we can just roll this into a Raging Bolt knockout here. We do get an Ultra Ball. I don't think Ultra Ball is really going to help us much, because what can we get? I guess we could play Energy Retrieval for another Grass Energy, right? And we can put another Teal Mask Ogerpon into play. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and do this. Let's play the old Sada's Vitality, and we'll attach energy to our ancient Pokemon. We do get another Raging Bolt, which I don't really need, but I guess we'll just throw it down anyway. And then we can Ultra Ball away the Brute Bonnet, and actually, do I want to? Yeah, you know what? I guess we will. And then we'll grab the Fezandipiti, because we did prize our other Teal Mask Ogerpon, so sadly, we are not taking the knockout here, which means, bro, if we would have had the other Teal Mask, I'd have felt a little bit better about this, because what do we have in the discard? Nope, we're just shy of the knockouts. Let's go ahead and throw down Fezandipiti. That's not good. Let's go ahead, we'll just Toxic Powder, and now we are only putting 6 damage counters instead of 8, so that's kind of not good. But at that point, who really cares? Man, I'm telling you, I just love being able to take out small knockouts like we did on Ditto earlier. But our opponent plays down the Hoot Hoot and just passes. All they can do is just pass. They don't have energy to retreat. They don't have switch. They got nothing. I mean, granted, we don't have anything either, but let's go ahead and play the energy retrieval, grab this grass energy, and let's see if we can Teal Dance our way out of this. I just need a fighting energy, right? If I get a fighting energy, we're good. Like, we win. No, we just get another grass energy. Okay, well, in that case, I think it might just be a, yeah, oh, you know what, we could. No, we can't knock out the Hoodoo here. Yeah, let's just go ahead, end our turn. I'm not even going to attach that energy right now. It's not worthwhile, but dude, 180 damage is on that Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. If they don't get that bad boy out of the active, or Iono, or do something, then yeah, they just get knocked out by poison. No, they get Ultra Ball. There you go. Okay, so they can Ultra Ball their way out of this by grabbing Noctowl. They get rid of a Counter Catcher and an Area 0, which is really good for us. They evolve into the Noctowl, so I'm going to assume they're going to grab Crispin and Sparkling Crystal here, right? Just try to get the attack off with Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. No, they grab Nest Ball and Earthen Vessel. Okay, interesting. And they did have the energy switch in hand, but they Earthen Vessel that away, grabbing a grass and a water energy. Now, the good thing is, if they do retreat the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, then we can just go into the Baby Raging Bolt later on down the line, and we can just use its first attack to knock out Wellspring while it's on the bench. They play down another Teal Mask Ogerpon, attach water energy to the Wellspring, and retreat into the Noctowl, and now they're left with 1 card in hand. So yeah, all we have to do here is just boss up the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, poison it, and we're good. Ooh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and Teal Dance here, and then we'll play the Pokégear, see if maybe we don't need to go for the boss play, right? No, we just get Ultra Ball. Yeah, you know what, let's play the Pokégear. We do get the Sadas, we have no energy in the discard, so yeah, I think the answer is just boss up that bad boy, because we can boss up Wellspring. They got 1 card in hand. We'll go ahead and Toxic Powder the Wellspring, and if we wanted to, we could retreat it, but no, I think we're good. Yeah. Bada boom, bada bing, man. Now, granted, our Pecharunt's going down next turn, but we're taking 2 prizes. We're 3 prizes ahead. I mean, our opponent doesn't have a lot going for them, especially with 1 card in hand, unless it's a Nest Ball, and they Nest Ball for Fezandipiti. So, let's see. Bro, somehow they top deck a Noctowl. They get, like, the perfect top deck to get them out of this situation. And they grab Crispin and Nest Ball. Okay. They play the Nest Ball, and they grab Blood Moon Ursaluna. Okay. Weird. I figured they were going to grab Fezandipiti there. Maybe they prize Fez. They play the Crispin. They put a grass energy in their hand. I'm assuming they're attaching the other energy too. Yeah, they attach it to Blood Moon Ursaluna. And, you know, I see the steel energy there. I've got to assume that's for Pikachu EX. And that's another thing about this deck, right? If you do run into Pikachu, all you have to do is have that Brute Bonnet on the bench, poison that bad boy in the active, hit it for 280 or 240 damage with Raging Bolt, and then poison knocks it out. I mean, it's a brilliant counter to a lot of decks out there right now. And our opponent just passes, down goes Pecharunt. So you know what? We will just go ahead and go into Latias here and see if we can roll into something, man. I mean, we don't have any energy in the discard. Boom. We rolled into our something. That is all that matters. All we have to do now is just Toxic Powder the Noctowl. We can then retreat into the Raging Bolt, and then we'll attach the Ancient Booster Capsule to the active. I kind of want to get rid of Area 0 here, but I don't see a need in doing just that. Now, you know what? I say that, and I kind of want to throw down this guy here. Yeah, just so we can attach energy for later. And we're just going to go ahead and Bellowing Thunder. And we'll get rid of the Lightning Energy. It just makes it super easy because now we can Sada to the active Raging Bolt next turn or do, you know, whatever. I know leaving the Grass Energy on the Teal Mask is probably not a great move, but... And I wanted some useful energy going into the discard, right? Grass isn't necessarily useful to us right now. Our opponent promotes into the Teal Mask, and they boss up the other Teal Mask. Okay, I think our opponent is just out of options here. They do have Fezandipiti in hand, so flip the script. Ooh. Now, granted, if they do get rid of the Teal Mask Ogerpon here, that does suck. But, you know, we can play Fezandipiti, we can play Professor Sadas, we can roll into... you know, more energy or Night Stretchers or, you know, Energy Retrieval. So I think we'll be fine. Yep, that's exactly what they do. They just retreat into the Blood Moon Ursaluna and they take the knockout. So now we can at least go into Raging Bolt EX here. Now we do have to discard 2 bench Pokemon, which is totally fine. But now at least we can go into Latias EX here. We can poison the Blood Moon Ursaluna, and that does, let's see. You know what? Let's do this. We'll go ahead and play the Perilous Jungle, so we are doing a little bit more poison damage. Can we get them down to 210? I don't think we can. Yeah, because now they're at 230, so that doesn't really help us at all, but no big deal. Let's flip the script and see what we can get here. We do get another Carmine and a Pokégear. All right, that's actually really nice because we can Earthen Vessel away the Pokégear and grab... Do we even have any Grass Energy? We do. We have we have 1 Grass Energy left in our deck, and what we can do is we can just go ahead and Professor Sadas to Lightning here, and we'll go Fighting to the Raging Bolt here. And do we get any Energy Retrieval? We do. Great. Now we can just play Ultra Ball, get rid of both of these Carmine. I think we should be doing enough damage for the knockout, right? I'm just kidding. I'm totally trolling with you guys because we are just going to go into the Raging Bolt. And yeah, we're going to do 280 damage. I don't know why some part of me was like, no, bro, we're not going to get the knockout here. But no, of course we are. 280 damage. Down goes Blood Moon Ursaluna, man. What a fun match, bro. I'm telling you, such a fun deck. All right, here we are going first, and we sadly don't have the chance at donking our opponent here, which would have been really freaking cool, but no, it's okay. We do have to Carmine here and get rid of an Ancient Booster Capsule and an Energy, and a Sadas, which doesn't feel good, but oh, bro, we do get Secret Box. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so you know what we can do here. Oh man, there's like, if there was a 70 HP Pokemon in the active, oh my god, bro, we'd be in the money. But let's go ahead and Secret Box, and we'll just grab what, you know what, I'm okay with losing an Iono here, right, because we are going to Squawk and Seize, but we can grab Nest Ball. Nest Ball gets us, ooh, we need Pecharunt here too. Okay, I don't know how we are going to get all of that, but we could get lucky, right? We can Nest Ball, and hopefully we run into another Nest Ball here. Let's at least guarantee the Latias with the Nest Ball, and then, yeah, we'll attach the Ancient Booster Capsule here before I forget, and we'll just Squawk and Seize away this Iono. Give me Pecharunt so we can at least do 80 damage. Boom! There you go, look at that. We at least get the old Pecharunt. We can attach Lightning Energy here to Raging Bolt. We have the Pokégears in hand for next turn. And we'll go ahead and Toxic Powder the old Duraludon. Bro, I'm telling you, this is just so cool to see that you could take the knockout. If it was just a 70 HP Pokemon. Like, going first, we could have knocked that bad boy out. But sadly, we can't. And I kind of want to throw the other Raging Bolt down. But there you go. 8 damage counters going on that bad boy. If they don't have a Nest Ball here or something crazy, right, then they can just pass and we just knock out Duraludon with Poison. No, they played on the Zorua. Why couldn't they have started with the Zorua, bro? Why could that not have happened? They do attach a Dark Energy to the Duraludon, and they play Iono. So it looks like they're getting ready for a Raging Hammer here. And, bro, that's actually a pretty good Iono. We have the Sada, we have the Nest Ball for Teal Mask. Like, yeah, we're in the money, dude. They attach Vengeful Punch, and they pass, putting a Dark Energy in the discard for Ends PPF. So I can see the idea behind it, but now, you know, they have to go into Zorua here. So we're just going to knock it out with the old Pecharunt. Like, that's all we're going to do, you know? Toxic Powder, Zorua, we can Nest Ball for the Fezandipiti, or not Fezandipiti, we can Nest Ball for, what was I trying to say? Yeah, Teal Mask Ogerpon, and yeah, I mean, we can prep the Raging Bolt, if we want. We don't really need to, but I think I'm going to, right? This is just so much genuine freaking fun. And I will Earthen Vessel away. Do I Earthen Vessel away the Penny, the Pal Pad? No, I think I'm gonna Earthen Vessel away the Pokégear, since we do have 2 Professor Sadas in hand. Yeah, I guess we can just attach here. We'll save the Sada. No reason to play that right now. You know what my goofy butt just realized? That is because it's Zorua, we cannot put the additional 2 damage counters from Perilous Jungle. I totally just realized that. So we're just going to go ahead and Bellowing Thunder and get rid of 1 Grass Energy here. So, okay. Not the smartest move in the world, but it's just kind of funny that I forgot that, you know, Dark type are excluded from Perilous Jungle as a stadium. So let's see what our opponent does here, because they need to put more Pokemon on the bench, and Raging Bolt is just going to go knockout after knockout after knockout here. They play Arven and they grab Nest Ball and TM Evo. They play the Nest Ball and they grab Fezandipiti, so there's a good target for us if we had a boss in hand, but I don't think we do. They play Night Stretcher and they get back the Duraludon, which, yeah, I mean, I guess I would absolutely want our Duraludon for this matchup, even though we can hit those 300 numbers very easily. And since we do have Poison in play, that's an extra 30 damage. So we only need to get rid of 4 energy instead of trying to get to 5, which is so much easier for us to handle. And our opponent just passes. So let's see. Do we get... Nope, we don't get anything we really need. So let's go ahead and Teal Dance. If I Teal Dance into a boss's orders, we can just knock out the Fezandipiti, which would be really nice. No, that was just far too much to ask for. So yeah, you know what? I think I don't even want to play the Professor Sadas here. We can't just knock it out by recycling another energy to Teal Mask Ogerpon. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I mean, we're winning the prize trade, so I don't think it really matters. Down goes Zorua. The only hope they have is to knock us out with our Duraludon next turn, and they don't have a lot of energy in their discard. They promote into the Duraludon, they flip the script, and they play Earthen Vessel, getting rid of at least 1 metal energy, and they grab another metal and another dark. Now, I haven't played this whole Duraludon and Zoroark deck, so I'm very interested to see like how it works. As of right now, it's getting smoked. So, and oh, bro, that's rough. Here come the Ionos, and all 3 Sadas are at the bottom of the deck. So I'm gonna have to play Pokégear here. We do get a Grass Energy, which is great, because they're not going to knock us out with our Duraludon this turn, or they're not going to knock us out with anything. So we can at least put more energy into play and take a knockout here on Duraludon. And there they go, popping the TM Evo and evolving into Zoroark EX, and oh bro, they don't even have our Duraludon. Ooh, that sucks, man. Maybe we do Pokégear into, you know what? I'm going to Teal Dance first, and then let's play the Pokégear, and we might Pokégear into a boss. There's a fighting energy that we don't need. And you know what? Let's just do that. Pokégear, what are you going to give me? Carmine? I guess I can play the Carmine. I don't really need to, nor do I want to, because I kind of want the Raging Bolt in hand. So yeah, the odds of them knocking me out next turn, not really high. So yeah, let's just go ahead and we will discard the Grass Energy from the Teal Mask Ogerpon here. We'll discard one of the fighting energies there. And we'll knock out the Duraludon in the active. But bro, we are so ahead of the game right now. I mean, it just comes down to, do we have a boss's order somewhere in the deck, and can we end the game that way? Our opponent promotes into the Duraludon. They evolve into our Duraludon. Hopefully they have an energy in hand, because if they don't, we are going to hopefully knock it out. I should have played the Carmine, because now I don't know if we're going to get anywhere close to getting a Sadas here, which is actually going to suck. But they do have the energy in hand for our Duraludon, and they just Pal Pad back 1 Iono. Or 2 Ionos, and they play their other Iono. Give me a... Penny's not exactly what I was looking for there. However, that does get us 1 step closer to Sada. They do pop the trade, getting rid of a Professor's Research, drawing 2, and they play Night Stretcher. I've got to assume they're going to play Night Stretcher for another Duraludon. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Which, interesting, man. At this point, I don't know if I want to keep putting our Duraludons in play. I mean, I guess, right? Because that's really your only option. And our top deck is freaking worthless. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and Toxic Powder the Duraludon here. At least we are going to be doing an additional 30 damage, so we only need 4 energy. Like, we just need to roll the Teal Dance into... Thank God we have 1 Grass Energy. I was actually really nervous, man. 1 time and 1 time only, I am begging you, roll me into a Grass Energy, or roll me into a Professor Sada. No, it's a Raging Bolt. Okay, not at all what I wanted, but that's totally fine because, you know, we do have the energy in hand. So 280 damage, down goes Arch Ralladon. I don't know why I was asking for the Sada when I know I had the energy to win the game, but that's just me. That's just me being goofy and not realizing that we could take it down, baby. Down goes Arch Ralladon. See, we were so shy of the knockout that all we needed was the Brute Bonnet to come in clutch and win us the game. All right, I'll be the first to admit, I am not the best Raging Bolt player, right? It's just, dude, there's a lot of discard, a lot of thought going into it, and I just don't have the IQ to play this deck. But man, I'll tell you what, Brute Bonnet, MVP, man. But there was just so much going into this matchup that I don't want to give MVP just to Brute Bonnet, right? Pecharunt. Awesome. Then we also have Secret Box, which came in clutch. And then Perilous Jungle. Like, in the end, that last matchup, we would not have won it if we didn't have both Perilous Jungle and Brute Bonnet in play. But we did that additional 30 damage that allowed us to knock out Arch Ralladon. 300 damage, man. Just that extra 30 damage allowed us to do that, even with Raging Bolt with a Bravery Charm, right? 290 HP. At least poisoning your opponent's active does that extra 10 damage, right? To take a big Bravery Charm knockout on Raging Bolt. We didn't get to have any of these 70 HP knockouts in these matchups, but you guys can absolutely see the potential behind this deck. No wonder it plays first place, but I am probably going to be playing this a lot more often. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you did enjoy the video, please consider leaving me a like, giving me a follow, and have a very, very wonderful day. Peace.